see. So you got this little toilet, right? And here are all the controls for the toilet. You've got your flush, you've got the bidet, which is forward, you got the spray, which is more in the back, and you could stop, you could change the water pressure. Like, that's crazy. And then here's the shower room. So, those are my knees. It's set up like a traditional Japanese shower, which is odd. So you get the little seat that you sit on and the bucket that you dump water over your head so you can get clean before you get in the bathtub. Hello darlings, it's Kit. Yesterday, Andrew and Wynn went to Akihabara and they spent hours upon hours with very few detours just scouring anime figure stores, like every single figure, all day. So that was fun for them. But today we did stuff that was more my style. So I was out today. We started by going to Harajuku, which many people will recognize as the supposed like center of kawaii fashion. Yeah, Harajuku sucks. Like Tokyo's crowded in general, but Harajuku was nut sauce. Like it was just like wall of human beings that you had to press through like you're going against a salmon migration or something. We were gonna go to the Monster Cafe, but as you could imagine with how many people were in that area, the wait for the Monster Cafe was ridiculously long and we couldn't find anything like to book on the website. So that was a bust. So we left and we went to Shibuya, which is it's like one subway stop away. And Shibuya is awesome and I don't know why people don't go there. What was the store name?
109.
109 in Shibuya is 12 stores of just girls fashion and everything there was either as cute or more cute than anything we found in Harajuku, and it's like 80% more affordable. Like the prices are so much more reasonable than the prices there, which are only priced that way because you're buying them at the main street in Harajuku. Like for real, if you want kawaii fashion, don't go to Harajuku. There's literally nothing special there except for the Monster Cafe and like giant cotton candy, but the cotton candy line was not even joking, like 60 people long. I don't care how big the cotton candy is, it's not that exciting. So we came back to the hotel and we're looking for fun things to do and we're like, oh, there's this cafe called Lockup here in Shinjuku. Let's check that out. So you go in and it was terrifying in the entrance because you have to like stick your hand in the hole to open the door because there's a button inside the hole. But the thing is that the instructions were in Japanese and I couldn't translate it. So we were just standing in the entryway with like all these like jump scares and flashing lights until these 3 Japanese girls came in. They were like, oh, you just do this. Like, oh, thanks. And so we get in there and then the drinks are crazy. Like one of them, they used an actual like liquid, what was it called?
IV.
An actual IV drip, thank you, which I didn't know how to use. So Andrew had to put that together for me so I could get my drink out of the bag. And then like some of them had syringes and like test tubes and stuff, which was nuts. And like all the food was themed. It wasn't like amazing food. The drinks were okay. But then right at the end, we're like, okay, this was an interesting place to be. It's whatever. And we're like pushing the button to get the lady to come over and give us our check. And nothing's happening. We're like, what the hell's going on? And then all the lights go out and this creepy little girl ghost voice starts talking and I don't understand what she's saying until she counts to 10 and starts saying, where's my mama? Where? And these people in costumes go around, they slam the door open and get in your face and I'm screaming. And this one girl in a creepy mask like got right in my face while I'm screaming. And then she looks at Andrew and what just gives him a high five. Oh, just waves at him, just like, hi, and leaves. I was like, why are you picking on me? So that kind of turned the whole night around and made it a lot of fun. Then we wandered the streets and now we're back at the hotel and we're gonna plan tomorrow. Okay, I'm on the phone now because I already put the camera away, but I remembered one last detail of the day that was really fun. We found this arcade and we played some games together. Like we played this dinosaur game where you were in Jurassic Park and you had to shoot all the dinosaurs, and we actually did really well. There's a similar one in America and we haven't done that well before, so maybe in Japan it's easier, or maybe we were just more confident. I don't know. But then there was a 3D Pong game. It turns out I'm not good at Pong. And Andrew absolutely destroyed me, like decimated me within like 60 seconds of beginning the game. But it's okay because we still had fun and I don't care. Winning a game doesn't give me value or take away my value, right? Right, Andrew?
What? I wasn't paying attention.
Anyway, that was the last detail. Hey everybody, so Kim's monologue explaining the next few days got corrupted as soon as I uploaded it to the computer, so we don't have that anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and monologue the rest of the trip instead. On our next day, we went to Odaiba, and Odaiba is a little island right near Tokyo that has a bunch of shopping centers and a bunch of really cool stuff, but the most memorable part, in my opinion, is the life-size unicorn Gundam that they have in front of the Diver City Mall that transforms every couple of hours. And then when we went into the mall, we got to walk under the Gundam, and it was just unreal just to see something so cool in 3D at actual scale. Inside the mall was mostly just regular mall shops. Kitty cat in a pink box. Meow, meow, meow. But there was a temporary setup called the Unko Museum that there was a massive crowd in front of. And when I looked kind of in the side, I was like, why is everything like poop and toilet themed? And I looked it up, and Unko just means poop. And so it's the Poop Museum, and so many people were excited to be in there. I have no idea what was really inside because I didn't go, because I think that's gross. Then on the 4th floor of the Diver City Mall, the whole 4th floor is the Gundam store. You come up on the escalator and the whole wall says Gundam store, and it's got lights running through the wall. It's very sci-fi. And inside is a display of like every Gundam through history, and it was very exciting for Andrew because he's very into Gundam, and it was mildly exciting for me. But the only Gundam series I ever got into was Gundam Wing, and apparently that is just the least loved, most underappreciated show of all time, and really has nothing to do with the rest of the Gundam universe. So that's disappointing. There's also a giant arcade in Diver City that had a bunch of rides and a bunch of like walk-through attractions. We did a couple. One was we went through this zombie hospital, and everything was in Japanese, but it was fun jump scares. Jump scare is a universal language. Finally, as we were trying to find a way out of the mall and back to the train station, we stumbled upon an outdoor music festival, and there was an idol concert going on. For those of you who don't know what an idol concert is, idols are either a group of girls or a group of boys who sing and do coordinated dance, and it's pretty fun. But the thing that I love the most about this is the entire crowd, without exception that I could see, were all middle-aged or older teenage men, and they were all having the time of their lives. They were singing, they were dancing along with the girls. They were just all cutting loose to these adorable girls in adorable outfits doing adorable dances. There was just something really beautiful about that. Like, I am aware that there are problematic aspects of Japanese society, mostly surrounding the way that they pressure workers and students to work beyond their means. However, what I saw there and what I see in stuff like most anime and kawaii fashion and things like that is just permission to enjoy the innocent, to be like, yes, I am a middle-aged man who works in an office, but I really enjoy idol concerts, and I think those dances are fun, so I'm gonna learn them, go to a concert, and dance along with them. And there's just really something beautiful in that there was no shame, no embarrassment, just cutting loose and enjoying something fun without worrying about it. We did finally find a way out of the mall, which was more difficult than you would imagine, but the mall was huge. We had to go through something called the Venus Fort. It's supposed to look like Venice, so it's got like fountains and looks like homes on the side, and they've got the ceiling painted like a sky. When we got back to our hotel, we found a cool Alice in Wonderland themed cafe that we had dinner at. The seats were all like hedges in a hedge maze, and all of the waitresses were dressed as Alice, and all of the waiters were dressed in, you know, like a suit. And finally we topped off the whole night by getting back to our hotel again, just in time to catch the Godzilla show from the roof. Next day was Akihabara again. We spent a lot of time there, as you can probably guess from all the new anime stuff on the shelf behind me. Leia, are you kidding? Stop biting me. And as we found we love to do, we went to a Maid cafe for lunch. This time we went to Maid, which is one of the biggest Maid cafe chains, and we went up there, we got cute little bear themed food. They weren't all bears, we just went with all bears, so we got bear themed food and bear themed ice cream. The thing that is the biggest draw of Maid cafes, we paid to have one of the maids sing and do a super adorable dance for the whole restaurant. And they got really super into it, and they started passing around a box where you know, you had to draw a card and you got a certain prize for it, and they're like, here's some glow sticks that have the Maid logo on it, and here's a popper for you to pop at the beginning of the thing. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. But they were all speaking and explaining this in Japanese really, really fast, so obviously Andrew and I couldn't understand it. Turns out you had to pay for all these things, but it was fine. It was still a lot of fun, and we weren't on a super strict budget, so it ended up just being added enjoyment to the show. And this one we could actually take pictures with the maids, so we got some pretty cute pictures. When I asked on Instagram what you would like us to do while we were in Tokyo, a lot of you requested that we hit up weird and bizarre vending machines, and there's actually not a lot of them. We saw a ton of vending machines, don't get me wrong, there were vending machines everywhere, but they were either drinks, like most of them were drinks, or cigarette vending machines, which aren't that exciting. But we have seen online this place right outside of Akihabara that has these weird vending machines with random things in them. Is it just a giant thing of chocolate coins?
I think so.
That's pretty great. Bouncy balls. Got cans of stuff, I have no idea. There's more back here. Oh my god, it's trashed though.
That's true.
You got bells and cookies and Kelvis. Price. What's the lucky number? I'm gonna go with you. 27. Here it goes. Wait.
Do you have to hit enter?
Yeah. Now here it goes. Ba-doop. The way I understand this is that, like, it's kind of like Post-Secret, but in Japan. Oh, there's more!
Yeah,
There's a story on top.
We'll open it up when we get back.
Okay. There's another story. And we did have unboxing footage of Kim opening the box, and what was inside was just Chocobacks, which is like a breadstick-shaped cookie thing dipped completely in chocolate. But the stories were cool. We were able to sort of mostly translate them, and the one on the front was an adult movie star reminiscing on why she chose her movie star name, and there was a second story on the top that was a person talking about how when they were in school there was this kid who always smoked outside and broke the rules and now he's in jail. So just these really simple blips into people's lives, which I thought was super interesting, and even though neither Andrew or I ate the Choco Bats, it was worth the money just to get these little stories and insights into some random stranger's life that we will never ever meet. And as if the previous day's Godzilla show from the roof wasn't cool enough, we also came back to the hotel just in time to catch the Godzilla show from the street. After we stopped at the hotel to drop off our stuff from Akihabara, we went back out. Well, I didn't go out. Kim went out with Andrew to Ikebukuro. Ikebukuro has another shopping mall that Kim absolutely wanted to go to. Why, you ask? Because it is the home to the biggest Pokemon Center in all of Japan. And not only did she get to see the Pokemon Center, but that day there was a huge promotional event for Mewtwo Strikes Back the movie. I guess it had recently released in Japan, and so they had a giant display where you could go take pictures with a bunch of Mareep figures, and you could stand in between Mew and Mewtwo in the middle of a battle. So it was a great day to be a Pokemon fan. Even though most of us didn't enjoy Harajuku, at least the main street with all the fashion, we did want to hit up the Monster Cafe, so we found a way to make a reservation, and it was just as bizarre as we thought it would be. Just everything, the colors were super bright, everything was very loud, there were lights everywhere, the food was very intensely decorated. It was just a general blast to have a weird kawaii monster lunchtime. And afterward, if you take the street right next to the main street in Harajuku, you go down this beautiful nature path. Andrew and Kit walked down that until they got to the Meiji Shrine. There they just saw giant displays of sake packaged in a traditional way. They got their fortunes. They purchased little good luck items. And then when they were done, rather than take the train back to Shinjuku, they just walked. And Kit really enjoyed that, just walking through just really quiet neighborhoods. It was a completely different face of Japan that they got to enjoy on their way back. Next day was Nakano Broadway, which we didn't take a lot of pictures of because it was just a multi-level shopping center where it had tons of like vintage toys. They had an area where you could buy like actual cells from anime. Then we go to August 21st. It's one of the last days in Japan, and this was arguably one of my favorite days because we went on Airbnb and found someone who was familiar with the local music scene, and we got to go to an idol concert. It was a rock idol, not a pop idol, so they were like metal. It was a metal idol concert, so there were adorable girls in adorable outfits doing adorable dances while screaming into the microphone. The next day, August 22nd, was our very last day. Oh god. Down by here?
Yep.
And that night we went to the last themed restaurant of our trip, which was the Sailor Moon Cafe. Of course, they had Sailor Moon themed drinks and Sailor Moon food. You get to keep the plate at the end, so you get Sailor Moon plates and you get Sailor Moon coasters that they put your drink on, but they keep the plastic on because they know you're going to want to keep that. The show, which we expected to just be silly fun, you know, people running around in costumes and whatever, was actually really impressive. They had like acrobatics and special effects, and the dancing was all very good. I didn't get to record any of it until the very end when they said you could record, and the girls came out and did the final theme song. And then they went around the crowd so you could get even closer pictures with them. And they all stayed in character the whole time, and it was incredibly fun. And that was our adventure in Japan. We absolutely loved it. We hope you guys enjoyed hearing about it. Andrew and I had very, very high expectations going in, and it just blew all of our expectations out of the water. That's it for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And please don't forget, you are loved, you are valuable, and you are valid. Bye!